Today I am going to talk about dark entities, what they are not, what they can do, what they cannot do, how to overcome your fear of dark entities, and how to get rid of them if they are bothering you. For the moment I am in the south of Spain. Usually the weather is really great here, but today the weather is very suited for the topic. It's rainy, it's stormy. I'll show you the view that I have here. Quite pretty, but quite wet and quite cold. But anyway, dark entities, what are they? At least according to my definition, they are beings without a physical body here on Earth. For example, they are people that have died, so they don't have the physical body anymore, but the spirit is still there. And instead of crossing over to heaven or whatever you want to call it, the source, they are still here on Earth. So the spirit lingers here. And why do we call them dark entities? Because of course they're also light entities, but they are dark because they are in the lower, denser energies, which means they are in the domain of fear, of shame, of anger. These are all the lower emotions. And because these entities have these emotions, we see them symbolically when we look at them via our third eye, for example, as dark. I already gave the example of ghosts, you can call them, people that have passed over or passed away but have not passed over, they're still here. But it's not only human spirits, not only people that have lived on Earth. Entities can also be beings from different realms, different planets, whatever. It's everything, every being, every consciousness which is here on Earth, which is really a being but without the physical form, so we cannot see them with our physical eyes. And they are dark because they are in the domains of fear, anger, and shame. It's very normal to be afraid of dark entities. I used to be really terrified of them, and this is because of our conditioning, because of all the horror movies. When we see ghost movies, it's always scary. They're always very powerful, very angry. They always want to hurt you. Luckily, this is totally misleading. They are not that powerful. Many of them don't want to hurt you. And it's perfectly possible to overcome your fear of them, because I have done this. And I can tell you, I was really, really, really terrified of them, and I'm not anymore. So no worries, you'll get there. And there are different types of dark entities. I have already mentioned the ghosts, which are human beings which have died, but for some reason their spirit is stuck here. And they are quite innocent, they are just confused, they are scared, they probably also have anger still from their past life, still on their hearts. But they don't want to hurt anyone, they don't want to be here, they just want to cross over, or they want this whole chaotic madness to go away, but they don't know how. You can see this, that they cannot find the light anymore. And these are the easy ones. These are the ones that you really don't have to be afraid of, because they don't want to be here. So many people, actually everyone, has this gift that they can help ghosts. It's very easy. You just picture a light, which is then source or heaven or God or whatever you call it. And you just tell them, you have my permission to go to the light, and poof, there they go. Very easy. So ghosts, yeah, they're not the ones that you have to be afraid of. Of course, you don't have to be afraid of anyone. But they're not the ones you're afraid of, because these are so innocent, you don't even notice that they are there. They're just, you can see them like a cloud of dense energy in your room, for example. You feel this corner, there's something icky about this corner. Yeah, you don't know why, but maybe it's because there's a ghost there. But yeah, it doesn't hurt you. It's just a bit, not so nice. And then there is the second type of dark entities, and these are a bit more scary, because these do want to hurt you, they do attack. And the reason why they do this is because, as I told you, every dark entity lives in the domain or in the energy field of fear, of shame, of anger. And this is also the energy they feed on. So it's the energy they live in, it's their reality, and it's what they need to survive. So what do these entities want? They want you to be afraid, they want you to be angry, they want you to feel shame, because then they can feed on this emotion. So they will generate this emotion in you so that it feeds them. So they don't want to hurt you physically. They're not gonna, give you a heart attack or whatever. They cannot. They don't have the power to hurt you physically, but they can influence your emotions. They can make you afraid. They can make you angry. They can make you feel shame. And this is what they want because it's their food source. And it even goes a bit further than that, because we're all playing the game of life, which I talk about in other videos as well. And there is the team that we are on, you and I, the team that wants ascension, that wants things to get better, that wants spirituality, that wants humanity to evolve. And then there's the other team, the other players that want to maintain the status quo. They want to keep everything as it is, and as it is kind of means the earth destroying itself, or humankind destroying the earth. So the other team wanting to, having not that good intentions. They know that dark entities are there. They know that there are ghosts, for example, living in fear and anger, and other beings that need these emotions as a food source, and they use them to get what they want, which is the earth. So they have kind of recruited lots of dark entities, and we cannot really blame them, because we, the good guys, have neglected these dark entities. We have said, away with you, we're afraid of you, we push them away. So we have pushed them straight into the arms of the other team, which says, welcome, welcome, you're not alone anymore, we will help you. Which is great. I mean, everyone would say yes to that offer if you were a dark entity, all alone, all confused. So they have recruited these dark entities to make this world a bit of a shitty place. So lots of these dark entities, they're not these chaotic monsters just wanting to attack. Wah! They are very human-like, even if they don't have a human origin. They have fears just like us. They have doubts. They are not all-knowing. They are just as confused as us. They know even less often. And they are in this hierarchical structure recruited by the other team. So they have a boss telling them, for example, this girl or this guy is on a spiritual path. They are evolving. We want to stop this because they want to stop spirituality. This is one of the goals of the other team. So go attack them. So it's not that there's just a monster in your room by coincidence, making you afraid, making you angry, whatever they're doing. They do this by design, because they got the because they got the instruction from their boss, who got an instruction from their boss. It's very hierarchical with many layers. So for me, this already helps to be less afraid of them. They are not these faceless monsters anymore. They're just like you and I. They're working for a boss who has just told them, attack this guy or girl because she's doing good, she's on the right track, so stop her progress or his progress. And that makes them so much more human and so much less scary. That's the first thing. So what can they do? What can they not do? They are not very powerful. We think that they are because of all the movies that we see, which are of course meant to make us afraid of them and make us believe that they are powerful. But they cannot attack us physically. Some have a very limited ability to do physical things, like to flush the toilet or to turn on the lights, but this takes all their powers and it's all they can do. So really nothing to be afraid of. What they can do, however, and what they are very good at, is influence our emotions and especially our thoughts. And this is the really mind-blowing part. They can inject thoughts into our heads. So when we hear our own thinking voice, when we think, yeah, we're just having thoughts, lots of these thoughts are not originating from us. Lots of these thoughts are coming from dark entities. And especially if they are thoughts of fear, if they are thoughts of shame, of anger, then it can also come from the ego, which I mentioned in a different video. but lots of them come from dark entities. For example, I listened to this YouTube video recently of an ex-psychiatrist, which has done lots of research on dark entities and how they influence our thoughts, who mentioned that he was swimming in a lake. He was a very, very advanced swimmer. He was not afraid at all. And suddenly his own thought voice said, you're going to die, or I'm going to die, I'm going to drown, I cannot do this anymore. And he was... yeah, he was very conscious of his thoughts because he was working in this domain. So he knew, how strange is this? Why was I suddenly thinking that I would die? I know I'm not going to die. I'm a very good swimmer. Okay, the circumstances were, of course, scary. He wasn't too far on the lake and it was too cold. But still, he knew perfectly well that he would survive. And yet another thought came, a boat is going to hit you, and it kept on coming, and he said, these are not my thoughts. I know for sure that I'm not thinking this, but it sounds perfectly like your own thinking voice. And if you're living unconscious, like most of the world is, then yeah, you don't question these thoughts. You just get scared, or you just get angry, or you just feel shameful because your thinking voice is telling you, oh, how shameful what you just did. Oh, how people are going to laugh at you if they know this, or whatever. So this is what dark entities are so good at, influencing our thoughts. But once that you know this, you know that they don't have physical power, only the mental power of our thoughts and emotions, then it's so easy to get out of their grip, because all you have to do is make sure that you are not in the same domain as they are. And what I mean by that is they are in the domain of fear, of anger and shame. And if you make sure that your own thoughts and emotions are higher, that they are in the higher frequency domains, then they cannot influence you anymore. So the minute that you feel, for example, fear, you realize, okay, these thoughts of fear are not my thoughts. Either they're coming from the ego or from the entities, doesn't matter which one they're coming from, they're not mine. Someone is trying to make me afraid. I'm not going to listen to those thoughts anymore, and I'm going to do something that makes me feel joy, for example. The perfect thing to do when you're getting scared is to put on a really happy tune of music and to sing and to dance and to pretend that you're happy. And by pretending, you'll get happy. You'll get in that frequency of joy. Because it's all about frequencies. Once that you're out of the frequency domain that dark entities can control, can manipulate, then they cannot touch you anymore. So it's really about getting yourself into those higher frequencies. And joy is one of the easier ones, because song and dance are really made for this. Made to get you into this frequency of joy. So this is the most important thing of how to overcome your fear of dark entities. Realizing what limited power they have, and how you can get out of their domain by getting your own frequency high enough. Now, there are many more things that you can do. One of the things that I like most is working with dreams. You'll see lots of entities in your dreams. These can also be parts of your own ego that you see in there, but they can also be external entities, so really dark entities. And you think that they are dream figures, they are just characters, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they are just dream characters, if they're ego, dark entities. They're things that make you afraid in your dreams. And the dream space is a perfect environment to work on your fears. Because you know, once that you're lucid, once you know that you're dreaming, you know that they cannot hurt you because it's just a dream. You always wake up perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. So how to work on fear in your dreams? First, make sure that you become lucid. Again, I have different videos on this. And then just have the intention, when I see something scary in my dreams, then instead of running away or fighting or whatever you usually do in your dreams or freezing, I will face this thing. For example, if I see a monster, I will just turn towards the monster and I will ask him, why are you here? Why are you scaring me? Whatever. And you'll see it is so great. Dark entities always hide, always work from within the shadows. Once that you face them directly, they run. They run or they hide or whatever. They will not go into a frontal battle. They are more afraid of you than you are of them, in essence, just like the spiders. So once you face a thing in your dream that you're afraid of, it will run away. And this is how you will learn, okay, there's nothing to fear. Because as soon as I face my fears, the scary thing is gone. So dreams are a great space to work on fears. And fear of the dark is very much related to fear of dark entities. Probably if you are afraid of the entities, you'll always also be afraid of the dark. And this is also something you can overcome in your dreams. If you go into a dark place in your dreams, it feels very scary, but once you're in there, you say, okay, nothing to be afraid of. Another thing that you can do, not necessarily to overcome your fear, but more to get rid of the dark entities, but knowing that you can do this will also help with the fear, is you can heal them. Or you can let the light into their hearts, or however you want to call it. So as I already mentioned, doing this with ghosts is very easy because they want to go to the light. They want someone to help them. So envision a light ball in your imagination, in your mind's eye, however you call it, and tell them to go there, and floops, there they go. Dark entities, they're the real ones, the tough ones, won't go into the light. They don't want to, but you can kind of make them. There are different ways of doing it. I do it in different ways as well. The ways I do it is, one is to let them into my heart space, but yeah, don't do it if you don't feel sure about it. So yeah, I'll explain the other ones. Another one which works really good is using your imagination. So following what your imagination wants to do and really trusting this. For example, making the ball of light is a very standard thing. It's one that everyone does. But your own imagination will give you other clues. For example, what I often do is I kind of spin them around in my imagination. Of course, I don't take them and spin them. But so in my imagination, I see myself or a force as spinning them. And then sometimes maybe I'll sprinkle light on them, or I'll put a light beam into their hearts. I cannot really give a guide of do this because every entity is different. Every entity needs something else. So you really need to trust your own imagination, your own intuition, however you call it, how this entity needs to be helped. Because just trust what you feel, trust what you know. You are so much more powerful than you know. Your imagination is so powerful. And you can help dark entities heal even the tougher ones. And this is a really great thing to do because even though they don't want to go to the light, once that you help them let the light in, they are happy, they are grateful, they change. And if that doesn't make your fear go away, well, that'll make your fear go away. That's all I have to say about dark entities for now. I'll put some links in the description about the other things that I talked about, and then I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, give a like to this one, share it, follow the channel, you know the stuff. And I wish you a very good day today. Hopefully the weather is a bit better than here in the south of Spain. See you next time. Bye bye.